you. Thank you. Thank you.
That Nigeria is going downhill is a huge understatement. That Nigeria is going down the drain every day is a huge understatement. That's why many people are criticizing the government for their incompetence to change the situation or at least return it back to where they met it, most especially inflation and exchange rate. Instead of the government to find solution, you start hearing them saying things, shamelessly saying things like, what would Peter Obi have done or what would Atiku have done, differently if they were there. That Nigeria is irredeemable. This is the best that can be done. These are the words you hear from them. Some even go to the extent of saying things like, this happened in other countries, that Nigeria should learn to live with it. So Nigeria should learn to live with hardship. Nigeria should live to live with learn to live with insecurity. Nigeria should learn to live with their life being wasted per seconds. Yes, I know some persons may actually see this as exaggeration, but I'd like you to know that Bayo Anonuga, a spokesperson to Tinubu, actually said this in defense, of the government he's serving. Bayo Anonuga, shameless, he said that South Africa have, more crimes than Nigeria. That Nigeria should learn to live, with crime, should live with pantry. Firstly, before I proceed, I want to I beg to differ from what Bayo Anonuga said, because he's trying to, defend, the incompetence of the government of the day that he served is shameless lying publicly. I that is reporting this, you are likely to know I'm Nigeria based and based in South Africa. Some of you, all right. I would like to, yes, there's crime in South Africa. We all know that, but it is not as worst. There's nothing like what is in South Africa is a crime that is being perpetrated by some miscreant. Not like the one that is a kind of endorsed, that politicians are behind, that thousands, hundreds will be, they go kidnap them, make cannot turn down for English, may YouTube and Facebook not go grab. They go kidnap them after, nabbing these people, millions will be demanded. I've been in South Africa for over 10 years. I can tell you the rate of crime, the legalized crime in Nigeria is not like that in South Africa. Yes, in every country, there's some miscreant, some street boys that constitute nuisance, you understand? But we are talking about that a government will not be negotiating with kidnappers per day. Places are not safe. Can I come to Nigeria, go with my children without having security? Can I come to Nigeria without, go with my kids as I am now, Holy Ghost on, without having my personal private security? No, but in South Africa, everywhere is tight. We understand there is crime. So, by your guy, you lied. The level of criminality and crime currently in Nigeria is not is far more than that of South Africa. That of South Africa is not even one tenth of that of Nigeria. By your guy, you lied. And let me even add this to it. For Bayo Anonuga to even speak such balderdash, it is not only insulting to the intelligence of Nigeria, it also speaks of the level of content which they treat the Nigerian citizens. You understand? They don't give a damn. I've said it's time with that number. They treat us with contempt. They treat us with disdain. What a shame. Since Tinubu's government keeps shifting the goalpost, in the beginning, they were appealing to the public that anyone who have idea, to solve, to assist, should be a good patron to come out and assist. All right. But now they are saying something different. So all this is a clear pointer that these guys, they lack direction. These guys, they are incompetent. These guys, they are failed, and they have agreed. They have attested to it with their own man that they are failed. They don't have solution to the Nigeria problem. Just imagine, from begging for ideas, in order to move the country forward, they started shifting goalposts again, saying that this is the best that can be gotten from anyone. That how would Peter Obi or Atiku have done it if they were there? This is a shame. Anyway, let's see how Peter Obi would have done it differently. Let's see how Peter Obi would have united Nigeria and how he would have, tackled insecurity. Follow me as I take you through this route. I want to show you how Peter Obi would have handled this and how he would have, tackle ethnic bigotry. This is a huge problem in Nigeria right now. Wasn't that what they used to disenfranchise, some folks in Lagos, you understand, from voting and the rest? Please, let's take a listen.
Whenever you want to bring a change, you have for enemy all those that live off the old order. So what you have now is that the people with the old order is the one fighting now. And they are saying, we will crush this Peter Obi. We will make sure. And they're doing it jointly. So that's why you're seeing the ethnic bigotry. You're seeing this because they were going to throw in everything. Oh, he's not he's a Christian. He's against Muslims. Is Muslims buying bread cheaper? No. Are they buying rice cheaper? No. Is fuel cheaper for the Muslims? Is there any filling station that sell fuel? No. They are the ones who are going to tell you it's an Igbo man. Igbo man should not be. The Yorubas that are there today, are they buying bread cheaper? No. Are they buying fuel cheaper? No. Go to Lagos today, go to Ibadan. If you see any filling station that is selling fuel cheaper, let me know. If you see anyone saying, so until people realize that this is not about Ademi, it's not about Ibrahim, it's not about Obi, it is about a country called Nigeria. The biggest Muslim democracy or country in terms of constitution is Indonesia. It's doing well. The tiny ones like Dubai and everything, they're all doing well. Saudi Arabia is doing well. Iran had just published a few days ago 60-something countries that can come into Iran without visa. Countries in Africa like Ghana and everything is there. Nigeria is not there. Yet there are more Muslims in Nigeria than the countries they published. They didn't say, oh, well, listen, we have more Muslims. They didn't publish Nigeria, giant of Africa. Countries in Africa are now telling us we can't come to them without visa. So we have a problem we need to solve. And this problem does not. There's no place you go now and say, I'm a Nigerian Yoruba, they give you visa. Or you fly cheaper. Nobody goes and say, I'm a Nigerian Northerner. When Buhari was coming, they were saying the same thing. Oh, this is he has come and gone. What changed in the north? Same thing is what we are going to have now. So this is the style of the old order to keep being there. And we must overcome it. We must deal with it. I urge all of us to be tolerant and understand each other. I have worked with every area of this country. I've been to everywhere in this country. The old order is crippling us by infusing this. There's so many Yorubas today that are married to Igbos. There's so many Igbos that are married to Yorubas. The same thing in the north, in the middle belt. I know a lot of people today, Northerners that are married to Igbos and everything. But they continue to tell you, I know a lot of Muslims who are these, even prominent people, prominent families now where the man is a Muslim, the wife is a Christian, and people have had all sorts of things. Yet, they keep telling you because it serves their purpose. So they tell you that Peter Obi is imposing religious war. Peter Obi is doing this. Peter Obi is doing that. When they was born in Kaduna, he affected mainly Muslims. Peter Obi had gone there. Those who are shouting Muslims didn't go there. They didn't go. But they will be the first to shout and tell you it's about Muslim. When I was campaigning, I went to everywhere. One of the things I observed when I went there and everything, talking to other people, is that you have people who are not. It was not Peter Obi who put in or Christianity that caused the criminality in the north. It was not Christianity that made them the people who are supposed to be educated not. No. And I have said I will start the turnaround from the north. Because I know what the problem is. Because I know what happens in Kanu. I know what happens in this. So what they are doing is to continue to use this fear. That is what I want us to overcome. That's why I said to you, they will do everything If they can't get how they will deal with P2B, P2B might not be there for them. But I'm ready for anything they want to do. And I'm sure that if we get together, when they take P2B away, other people will continue from where I stopped. That is what is important to me.
Peter Obi is very correct. Someone's religion is not a yardstick for competence. The Buhari's administration is a perfect example. There was a time all security agencies in Nigeria were headed by Northerners and Muslims. Despite that, they couldn't subdue insecurity. They couldn't fight insecurity. To an extent, even in Buhari's own state, we all know the level of insecurity that is there till date. To the extent, right now, some who's ethnic bigotry and religious, and who supported same Muslim ticket, some imams, we have all seen them on social media. They come out to cry out, regretting, like the sheikh of the Sharia, in Nigeria, or is already regretting. I'm sure some of you saw that on internet. So those who are, who preach ethnicity, religious, whatever, during election, these guys, they are using it to bamboozle people. You understand? You don't have to cover up their shame, cover up their criminality, cover up their incompetence. By the time they get there, everybody suffers. Anyways, Peter Obi has an ingenious, idea on how to unite Nigeria and move Nigeria forward. What happened in the last election season broke, many people. A lot of folks, lose hope. Be realistic. You listening to watching this video now. Do you still have hope in Nigeria election? Do you still have hope in Nigeria INEC? To an extent, those who once believe, in the that Nigeria can never, be divided and the rest, they are not calling for the division of Nigeria, that it must be divided. They are the one now because they saw what happened in the last election season. Please, if you know you are among this group, please, let's see you at the comment section. What religion, what bros the comments back? You once preached against, indivisibility of Nigeria can never be divided, but now, because of what you saw in the last electoral season, what is going on, you are not among those who are preaching that Nigeria must be split and must be divided. Please, you are among those. Please, I beg, I want to see you at the comment section. Please, what made you to say no? That no, based on what happened, it is better for the country to be divided. Please, I really want to see you at the comment section. Anyway, let's take a listen.
Transactional politics is divided by politicians who want us to remain divided for their own interest, for their own transaction. Once you move this country from consumption to production, the country will unite. It will be the same because people's hard work, talent will match up their opportunity. Then every other country in the world is divided. Even United States. In UK, same thing. The Scottish man does not believe in the English. So many other. However, because it's a productive system, people's hard work and talent match up the opportunity. There's nothing to share. What we're sharing in Nigeria is finished. What is remaining is production. I have said we can make more money from the vast uncultivated land in the north than we make from oil. If you go to cultivate that land, the people in the north will have a job, they'll have a better place, the industry that left the north will come back. You go to southwest, the same thing, the industries that are here will remain. You're not going to take the wharf away from here. There's wharf here, there's wharf in the port. If you go to China today, there's about 7 big ports. If you go to today, you said you're looking for the biggest ports in the world, you see that China controls about 4. It's in different areas of China, engaged in production. Same thing in Indonesia, any other place. When you start doing this, you find that there's little or nothing that divides us. What is dividing us today is consumption, sharing. And that's what is happening. It is because we're dancing. We're now in Titanic, where people are sinking. Those on the top are still beating their drums and dancing. Once we come to do the right thing, it will. In Anambra State, when I became governor, if you think this division is all over, it is all over the place. Even if you go to your family. When I became governor, this one will say it's from north, it's from south. When I started working, it disappeared. There's nothing. If you look at the youths from the north, the youths from the southwest, the youths from southeast, central, north central, they all agree. Nobody today in Nigeria buys bread cheaper. Nobody buys fuel cheaper. Nobody buys rice cheaper. JSK that left were domiciled in Southwest. Southwest people lost their job, as well as other Nigerians. PNG were domiciled in the Southwest. They left. So everybody is losing. It is not just people. Same thing with industries that left from the north. And I can tell you, we will unite the country as quickly as possible because we have the best people all over the place. And we will bring them together. And they will see reason why we work together. And there will be nothing to share. It will be work, 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 work. And those who are involved in private businesses, private listen, their hard work. If we say we want money for transporters, for example, it will go for the transporters. The people who are doing Lagos Ibadan will get it. Those who are doing Lagos Ore will get it. Those who are doing Lagos Onitsha will get it. Those who are doing Lagos Kano will get it. So the transporters all over the place. That is what it is. One area is for agriculture, one area is doing manufacturing, one area is doing this. But when you are sharing, is when you have ethnicity, division, along religious lines, along this, but in production, everybody is united.
In other words, corruption is what is dividing Nigeria. And you see, corrupt politicians, they cannot do without sharing money because it is the money they use to buy influence. So corruption is the root cause of Nigeria problem. Is the root cause of tribalism. Take for instance the recent, relocation of some department of CBN and FAN to Lagos. Northern politicians expressed their, disposition. Senator Ali Idume was amongst one of the northern politicians, that opposed it. This was because his daughter was affected, and his daughter doesn't want to relocate to Lagos. So as a result of this, his father Ali Idume, Senator Ali Idume, is threatening political consequences if the decision is not reversed. How can people be this selfish? This shows how they abuse power and waste the masses' resources. Anyway, let's hear Peter Obi's position regarding insecurity. Remember what the Chief of Defense has said some few weeks ago, that the army will try hard to fight insecurity and insurgency, but that their effort will never be enough until politicians do their own part, which is creating employment. By the way, Peter Obi have solution for diverse sectors. I will just be releasing them bit by bit so that this video won't be too long. It is not about, copying people's idea like they are currently doing. It's about having your own genuine idea. When you copy, you are not copying well, but you are the author, of the idea. You know how to make good use of it. Just look at the mess they made with the petrol subsidy removal. All because Peter Obi was singing he's going to remove subsidy. They also said they're going to do it now. They did it. Did they do it? So you can copy, but do you copy correctly? Do you implement what you copy correctly? You can imagine the mess. You can see it for yourself. Everyone is affected right now because they didn't copy rightly. They made mess with the petrol subsidy removal. Also made mess of the Naira float. Everyone is suffering. Aren't you suffering, guy?
You cannot have 50% of your population living in poverty. You can have almost 60% youth unemployment with all the energy where in their productive age, and you will have insecurity. It has happened in countries and countries over the world. When people talk about agitation now, that is all over the place. I said to them, go and study Brazil, Mexico, Bolivia, other some of the Asian countries. These things were there because you have a high level of unemployment. I was talking to a prominent Briton the other day, and I said to him, if you have 15-20% unemployment in the UK, nobody will come out of his house. Very simple. That's why nations work hard to ensure that their people remain employed, because they know it causes problem like issue of criminality, disorderliness. So what you need to do, and that is what Nigeria is facing, is happening in countries like Brazil, Mexico, and all countries around there. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. There's a time every Mexican wants to move over to America. Today, Mexicans in America are going back to Mexico. So it was Brazil and everywhere. Same thing in Asia. Indians are going back to India to make money. Indians become authority here today. Indians have become this. So it's Vietnam. So it's Indonesia. So the more you do the right things that propel development, the more you have your people. Before, Nigerians were not running away from Nigeria. When I was in university, everybody wants to go to university in Nigeria. Only few people want to go abroad. Today, I had one of the famous pastors tell me a story that they pray for people's wish. That he was surprised when he said, people are looking for visas to go abroad and do this, and he wants to pray for them. Everybody came out, including old women and men. And he asked them, people want, they said they want to go too. Everybody wants to disappear. And people are dying across the oceans. And people are dying across the deserts, wanting to go away. Why? Poverty. It wasn't so. Because then when it was good, you enter Nigerian Airways from here, it's only about 200, 300 naira. You fly to London, you don't need a visa. I just said that Iran have just listed countries that can come without visa. They didn't put us. And this is what is happening to us. Dubai, 1991, when I went to Dubai for the first time, the people I met were asking me how they can get more Nigerians to come. You just come to the airport, visa. Today, we're kneeling down and begging them to allow us to even pass, you know. So everything we've been denied everyone because things are not working. That is why you have criminality. We need to deal with it head on. And we have the resources to start reversing that. It's not going to happen overnight. But we can start doing it. And that is what I am saying. And that is what I want to do. And that's what I've done in a smaller scale and can say it will happen. It starts with the leader. The leader must be clear on where he's driving this vehicle to. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want us as a body to continue to agitate for. Where there will be respect for rule of law, where the executive, legislative, and judiciary will be men and people who want to sacrifice for this country.